I just replaced my original Govee neon rope light, which I did receive for review, with the rope light 2, which I paid for with my own money. For the most part, I got the neon rope light 2 because I already knew that I wanted to change the design on my wall, and I thought I would try the new one out and see if I felt like it was worth it or not. So I'll talk first a little bit about the differences between the two versions and how I feel about them and whether it's really worth it to get the second one. The biggest advantage of the Neon Light 2 is that you can bend it at a sharper, more harsh angle. So if you have a design that requires some sharp points to it, that light 2 is going to be really important to making the design actually come to life. The other thing is that it is lighter weight by a small margin. I don't know that I feel that the difference in weight actually matters, but they mention it on the website and they talk about it, so it's there. I don't think it makes a difference in it sticking to the wall, but because I just put mine up, I can't actually tell you whether it sticks better or not. The clips that keep it affixed to the wall are not universal. You can't use them between the two sets. So if you have a current light and you get a second one, do not think that you can use the same clips for both. They are slightly different sizes. The new one, like I said, because the new light is thinner and lighter, it means that the clips are also thinner and they won't fit on the old one very well. As far as brightness, I don't notice a difference, nor do I notice a difference in color accuracy. So if you're just looking for a rope light that looks really nice, I think both of them are going to look very good. Again, those sharp corners are the main benefits to getting the Govee Light 2, and you can see that the clips that they come with are these metal things made for corners so that they hold the rope light in place on both the entry, turn, and exit of the corner, which is likely to hold it in place a lot better and will help you to be able to accomplish those sharp corners. The other thing is that the light itself is more malleable, so it won't be fighting the angle or the turn nearly as much. One thing that I had to do, because I already had an existing rope light on the wall, was remove the old sticky bits from the clips that held it on there. And while those hold pretty well, they're a terrible pain to get off. They're an actual nightmare. And so first thing I tried to use was a scraper that you might use in like a construction project, and that was not helpful and it didn't work, and I don't recommend it, and it's a waste of time. So skip anything that you think is going to scrape and pull. That's not what you want to do. I ended up finding that most successfully was just taking a hair dryer and heating the sticky bits up. And once I could heat up that pad, I could peel it away. And I ended up using a lot of rubbing motion on my hand against the wall to pull it up, and that worked the best. It, to its credit, did not leave any damage on my walls, so that's great. But it was a terrible pain to get off. So go straight for the hair dryer. That's my recommendation. And once I got the wall clean, then I was set to do the next step, which was put up my template. So to create the design that I wanted on my wall, I first thought about what sort of design I wanted to make. In this video, you'll see me making a design for the second one that I plan to put up. That one I hope will go in the top corner of my wall, but the process I used was the same, which was decide on the general object that I wanted to create. And then I Googled around for some one-line drawings or single line drawings. There is already a type of art that exists where people make a shape out of only one line, where they never pick up their pencil from the paper. And that's the exact kind of thing that's going to help you find inspiration and figure out how to make the shape that you want. And so I looked at a bunch of those. I did a Google image search. I checked out examples of art that was inspired by the same shape but used only one line. Keep in mind that a lot of those drawings do have the line cross over itself, and that's not something that you can do with a rope light, but this will give you a general idea of how to make the impression of the shape that you're looking for. In my case, I was making a mountain, and so getting to see those examples helped me understand, oh, you can't really tell it's a mountain unless it has definition. Otherwise, it's just going to look like some triangles. So how do I fit in the definition and the peaks and one going over the other and all of that? And it helped to give me a good idea of it. The next thing that I did for this project was take painter's tape and make my general design in painter's tape on the wall. The reason that I did this was because I don't have a very good visual spatial ability to tell how long something is, especially when it's a line that's having twists and turns on a wall. My frame of reference isn't very good. So being able to take painter's tape, put it on the wall, and then I took just like a regular measuring tape and roughly tried to measure the space that I had created and used up. Gave me an idea on whether I was actually using enough rope or too much rope or what. When I first did it, it actually wasn't long enough. So if I'd left it the way that it was and gone ahead and followed that template, then I would have too much slack on the ends, and I didn't want that. So this gave me a good impression of, okay, my design should be bigger. I'm going to flesh out some sides, make some bits longer, and tweak it a little bit so that I can make sure to use up more of the length of the rope light itself, and that I don't have a weird, awkward extra amount left over. While that worked really well, I did still have to do some adjusting after I got everything up there, and I'm okay with that. That worked out just fine, and I'm really happy with how it looks now. And this is what my finished design looks like. The colors I chose myself, but there is an AI feature in the app that can choose the colors for you, or there are a bunch of presets and scenes that you can choose as well. This is what I happened to do the first time, but I will be playing with it and seeing if I can find some other color combinations that look really good with my mountain. And that top left corner will become the sun and cloud design that I drew earlier in the video. At the end of the day, I do think that people will be happy with either the original Govee rope light or the rope light 2. Reminder that the original rope light was the one that I received free for review. The rope light 2 was the one that I purchased. I am very happy with my purchase, but unless your design has a lot of sharp corners, I think you will enjoy both. I chose a mountain, which obviously has a lot of extreme angles to it and is jagged, and I think that the Govee Light 2 is the right one for that. And even with my cloud, I do look forward to trying it with the original Govee light, but I may have to get a rope light 2 to do the cloud because it also has some sharp corners on the fluffy parts of the clouds. That's where those sharp corners are, and I can see myself needing those special brackets and the more flexible rope to be able to accomplish that look. So once I try to actually install it, that'll help me understand whether I need a rope light 2 or if I can reuse my rope light 1. Otherwise, both rope lights have an app. There's also a desktop app. I was able to set up shortcuts for both of them on my phone, and they're really easy to use. One of the things that I like about Govee products is that the wireless features are very reliable. A lot of smart Wi-Fi RGB items will be a little bit laggy and unresponsive. They may take, 30 seconds to activate after trying to turn a light on or off, and that's really frustrating. And one of my favorite things about Govee products, I have a ton of them, almost all of which I've paid my own money for, some of which I did receive free for review. All of them are very responsive, and so you click on the button and it responds very quickly, which is what you want. You don't want to be sitting around. The other upside that they both have, and again, most of the lighting products, if not all of them, have, is a physical button, which means that if I don't even want to mess with my app, I don't want to unlock my phone, I don't want to deal with anything, or if I have family or friends visiting and they don't have access to my phone, they can still turn things on and off by using the physical button. I think that apps are great, wireless is awesome, but nothing replaces a physical button. There are times when that's what you want or that's what the situation calls for. So keeping that physical button in place, I really appreciate, and I'm glad that their products have them, including both of these rope lights. I hope that that was helpful. If you have any questions about my experience using both of these, feel free to drop a comment below. If you found this video helpful and you plan to check them out for yourself, consider using the affiliate links below, as those help to support me as a creator. Thanks for watching.